there was no practical. So there was no, like, point out what's wrong here. And I always felt like that was missing. So it's cool that they do that now. Mine was a Scamtron.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, and you had to wait a week for your results to come in. And if you blew it, if you didn't pass, you had to go back to an L1 weekend. You didn't have to pay the $1,000 again. You could if you wanted to sit through the whole thing again, but you had to pay a fee, and I think it was still maybe a couple $100.
It was like $300 because I had a coach that failed
for the test again. Yeah, and it was a hard test, and it was not open book. Like you just got your fucking Scantron.
Yep.
And that was it. And then when I took my L2, I was the last class that didn't have an exam. The L2 was no test. It was just a 2-day thing.
I think the L2 now, because I was reading it online, it's you go to the 2-day class, and then they send you home with no test, and you have 30 days to take the online test.
To take a test? Yeah.
Yeah, the test is online.
And if you need to re-up, you can just re-up the L1 test if you want to, because that way you can do the online course, not have to go back to a weekend. Honestly, COVID changed the world so much, and I'm happy to see CrossFit adapting and just helping people figure out, do it at home, do it here, do it there. Because it also used to be impossible to get into a seminar weekend. It was few and far between.
My entire thought behind the whole thing, and what I would encourage other gyms to do, and I'm going to try to lead by example in this, is I don't think you can retain enough information in a 2-day weekend or an online class to come out and start coaching on your own. I think you have to apprentice with someone. You have to come out and mentor and watch classes be run, and you have to run classes with someone staring over your shoulder and making you nervous, and have someone giving you critical feedback. And that's what I plan to do, is just, I'm not going to jump into classes. I'm going to partner with people and kind of learn on the job and do that for a while until I feel comfortable with it and really understand it, because I think it'll help me in my affiliate give better advice with Jen and Tom and our coaches around what our coaches should be doing if I have a better grasp on it.
Yeah, that's fair. Most of the gyms that I've been a part of have sort of agreed to that type of a philosophy. And a lot of owners are really particular about, X number of shadowing hours or co-coaching or whatever. So I fully agree with that. And I think it helps you to get to know your community too before you're, at the front of the room commanding a class.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for learning different styles and different ways that people respond to coaching. And that's half of it, right? Like you're half coach, half therapist. You got to meet people where they are and be there for them and help support them in their squat and also in their life. So,
I hope nobody comes to me for therapy. I'm going to be like, suck it up, buddy. You're coming to the wrong guy. I got my own problem.
They will. That's just a part of it. You're like, hey man, your deadlifts look a little rough today. What's going on? And, come to find out something totally unrelated to fitness is going on. And it's really important to be that person for them.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, that's my story. So that's my news.
Well, I love that for you, but we did miss you greatly. Lots of people asked about you in Miami and where you were at and want to make sure that you're going to come to the next one because you bring the party.
I made sure to tag every photo that you and Joe were in. I made sure to label it not John because I don't want people to confuse me and Joe. Since we're both bald guys.
Both bald guys. It was a picture of me and a couple bald guys, and you were like, none of these are me.
None of these people are John. None. Yeah. Well, I'll be at the games for sure. I might go to semis, maybe. It's a hard maybe right now, though. Like I just can't convince myself it's worth it, but we'll see what happens between.
Yeah. I'm also a hard maybe, but I really just should say no. Like if someone asked me to do a semi that was like, what's the last one? It's like the